Welcome back to In the Loop with iVillage. Our next guest plays a small woman with a big attitude in the national touring company of the hit musical Oprah Winfrey Presents The Color Purple. Off stage, she fought a bigger battle with her health, and she's here to talk about it. Please welcome Stephanie St. Vincent James.
Hello.
St. James.
Hello, Stephanie.
Welcome. So glad that you're here.
We are.
So glad you're here.
Tell us first, how did you get the role in this great play? How did you get it?
Well, I'd been auditioning for this particular casting director that casted The Color Purple for 10 years.
For other parts,
For other parts and other shows and other productions, unsuccessfully. And they had always said, we're looking for the perfect role for Stephanie. And the auditions for Color Purple came along, and I remember seeing the movie and seeing Ray Don Chong play Squeak in the movie. And I thought, this is perfect. I got to go in. So I went in L.A., and the entire creative team was there, the director, musical director, the writers, and a couple days later, they flew me to New York.
So it was worth the wait.
I think it was definitely worth the wait, absolutely.
Of course, wonderful.
And you played other roles, too, in Fame and Grease, but this one is important to you. This is a special role.
Absolutely. I love being a part of this story. Every night I get to go out on stage and tell an incredible journey, you know, a story of triumph and exhilaration, a story about love, which is so important. And you get to see the people in the audience. You see their faces every night when you take a bow, and you see how their lives are going to be changed forever.
And having Oprah as a boss can't be a bad thing either.
No, not a bad thing.
Well, maybe she's probably a tough boss, I'm sure.
She's great.
I'm sure.
But you're actually here to talk about something else, something that's really near and dear to your heart, endometriosis.
Endometriosis, yes. Endometriosis is a disease that I have suffered from. I've had 2 very serious surgeries, my most recent one in October of last year. Endometriosis is a disease that's more prevalent in women worldwide than breast cancer.
Wow.
Yet the average woman has not even heard of it. It's a disease that creates an incredible amount of pain, unbearable pain. We're talking...
How did you know you had it?
I was diagnosed in 2003. I had a laparoscopic procedure, which is the only way that you can be officially diagnosed for the disease. They go in, they make a tiny incision in the belly button, they go in with a camera, they look to see if the disease is present. And
but you were living with this pain.
Living with this pain for about 8 or 9 years.
And what were the other symptoms besides the pain?
Excruciating pain, pain with bowel movements, pain with intercourse, extreme fatigue. And we're talking about a pain here that is often compared to child labor. Just imagine, the average woman has a baby maybe 2 or 3 times in their lifetime they go through child labor. Women suffering from endometriosis are going through child labor 12 times a year.
But you saw the doctor. You asked the questions. How come they didn't have answers for you?
You know, I went from doctor to doctor for about 8 or 9 years across the country as I toured with different musicals and different shows, and most doctors just tend to write it off as bad cramps. It's just bad cramps. Take a Tylenol, you'll be okay.
And this is more than just bad cramps.
This is more than just bad cramps, and as the years progress and my disease went into a stage 5 level of the disease, which is an extreme amount of disease, the disease had literally cemented my colon to my uterus. So when they went to remove it, they had to remove 6 inches of my colon in order to peel away the disease bit by bit.
Is it a hardening of the tissue?
It's when the endometriosis is when the cells inside the uterus, they start to grow outside of the uterus on other organs in the body. It can grow on the appendix, and it can even begin to grow on the lungs. For myself, my appendix was removed as well.
And the important part, too, is that you were respectful of your body. You listened to your ailments because they didn't want to. To diagnose it, there's a surgery that needs to take place, correct?
Absolutely, yes. You have to have the laparoscopic procedure in order to be diagnosed. And I kept thinking, look, this is not just bad cramps here. I'm in bed, 10 to 14 days out of the month. I'm suffering here. The only way I feel comforted is by being in a bathtub 24 hours a day. Something is really wrong. And I listened to myself. I listened to my own body, and I kept going back for help.
So what do we need to do if we're having this pain, if we're having these symptoms? What do women need to do?
Well, that's why I'm here, is to raise awareness, let women know that there is a name to these symptoms that you are having. Go to your gynecologist, go to your doctor and say, do you think it's possible I have endometriosis? These are the symptoms that I'm suffering from. Extreme painful periods, unable to have a bowel movement, painful intercourse.
And it's not terminal. You can't
It's not terminal. You cannot die from this disease, but there is no cure. There is no cure. Oftentimes, in the past, what they did was give women hysterectomies as a cure. They do treat the disease by suppressing it with birth control pills. For myself, that doesn't work. Some people don't react well hormonally to birth control pills, and they give people painkillers, which can create a whole nother set of problems.
But you're doing okay now.
I'm doing great now.
You look great.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm coming to see you Friday night to see you sing that show. That's
girl,
what I want.
Friday night.
She's going to hook us up with tickets. For the next stop on the touring company of Oprah Winfrey Presents The Color Purple, it's going to be in Los Angeles, so you check it out. And to find out more about Stephanie's endometriosis awareness campaign, visit iVillage.com and click on In the Loop, and we'll be right back. Thank you, Stephanie.